Hello and welcome to another video. In this video I'll be showcasing the best Pokemon in the Love Cup, in my opinion. No, Lickitung. I'll be using it with Charizard and Medicham in just a very strong team with like two good cores in Charizard Medicham, Lickitung Medicham. Going right into the first game, we lead Charizard into Electrode. Yikes. Save swap Lickitung immediately. Lickitung is the save swap, in case you were wondering, for this team, pretty much always. They go up to 5 volt switches and then throw a discharge, meaning they still have 2 volt switches on that Electrode. And then they bring in Talonflame, which is not really a response to Lickitung. A lot of people don't really have a proper response to a Lickitung save swap, which is one of the reasons why it's so strong. And I get to another body slam here before it can even get to a move. And they decide to shield it. And I get to another body slam before they even throw a move. But they have a lot of energy. In fact, now they have so much energy that they have 2 moves, meaning I either have to shield twice to win switch or not shield at all. And I choose to not shield at all because I can come in with Charizard and take the next flame charge here as well. Then I bring in my Medicham to get a bit of energy, and they bring in a Galarian Slowbro, which is one of the worst things you can see as a Medicham. But up a shield, Psychic still does a lot. We might have some play here. That does a lot. Galarian Slowbro only has nuke moves, so I decide to shield this. It's a Sludge Bomb. And I go for a risky bait. Very risky bait. Because I think they're gonna shield it, and they do. And at this point I think Charizard in the 1-0 shields against an Electrode that has been chipped by Lickitung can probably sweep in the back. So I no-shield my Medicham and bring in Charizard. And I might have been wrong there, because those Voltuses are doing a lot. But I do get to my Blast Burn, and this will take the Electrode out. And I will get some wing attacks onto the Slowbro. And I have it pop loaded on Medicham. Can I take it out? Come on. Oh, we're both so low. This is double resisted. It's not enough, but a counter. Oh! Medicham wins with 1 HP. Next game, we lead into a Blaziken. Awesome. Really cool spice. They save swap Miltank, which I don't really think is a very good save swap in this meta, because Medicham is everywhere. Through a pop. They're at 6 rollouts, meaning they have 2 body slams at this point. They throw the second one. Can just let everything go and farm it down at this point. This is a very good spot. They get to a 3rd body slam, but no worries. Medicham lifts it easily. And I'm thinking that baiting here is not the play, because either I grab a shield and get a big advantage that way, or I just take the Blaziken out. Both scenarios are pretty good. So I just go straight for the nuke and I take out the Blaziken. And then they bring in a Shadow Electrode. And, well, I just need to not take a Hyper Beam at this point, because I can easily live a Discharge. And because I outpaced to 3 Body Slams before it can get to 2 Discharges and a Hyper Beam, I can pretty safely just double shield my Lickitung. But because I grabbed the last shield here, I'm again thinking, well, at this point Charizard can just get to a move and take it out, so I don't actually have to shield this. And they go for the discharge as well. And Lickitung wins the 1-2 shield scenario against Shadow Electrode, because it's just so good in neutral matchups. Next game, we lead into a Miltank. This is a bad matchup. And they go for a move, and I was not entirely sure. It does take 5 rollouts to get to a Thunderbolt, I found out afterwards, but I kinda had to shield at that point because I wasn't sure. Next time I probably won't. I try to catch a move on Lickitung here, and they bring in Medicham, and well, Medicham is not really a counter swap to Lickitung. Lickitung actually wins the 0 shields, as I've talked about before. So either I grab a shield advantage and the last shield off of the opponent, or I get switch, which would be really huge because they have a Miltank and I really want my Medicham on this Miltank. But Charizard up a shield is also just incredible. So I get switch, which is awesome. I bring in Medicham immediately, so the Miltank will be switch locked for a little while. He throws up a Thunderbolt and then a Body Slam, and then swaps out into Galarian Slowbro. I'm thinking if I go straight for the Blast Burn here, he might be able to shield, farm down, come out with a lot of energy. So I go for the bait, and he shields it. Awesome. Here I'm also shielding, and I'm planning on doing two more wing attacks and then throwing the Blast Burn to get myself as low as possible. But then I get the defense drop. So I throw after one, panic a little. I should have thrown after two. Now the Miltank gets 4 farm. Can we outpace? Oh, we get to the Psychic on the CMP. But is it enough? Is it enough? It is. Just about, I think. And we take out the Miltank and win the game. Next game, lead into a Medicham. They swap into a Talonflame immediately. In this matchup, you can just shield everything, as long as they're at a Brave Bird, of course, and just go straight Dragon Claw. Charizard will win the 1 shields and 2 shields. No problem here. So I just choose to play it safe that way and go for the second Dragon Claw. They shield it. And they throw a move immediately, meaning it's only a flame charge, so I can let it go, and then I swap in my Lickitung. I probably should have thrown one more wing attack before swapping, just to have the Blast Burn ready, but this is a pretty nice farm down. And now they bring in Medicham, the fighting type that's not really a counter to Lickitung. Throw a Body Slam. And because I know Lickitung is so thick, I just allow them to get to a move. I want them to throw it, so they are like they can't overfarm too much. And now I still get to my move anyways. Now they don't have enough energy to get to a move on my Charizard or my Medicham. I bring in Charizard. They bring in Electrode. I throw my Blast Burn immediately. Do they see it coming? Do they think I was trying to snipe the Medicham with the Dragon Claw? I think that's the case, because they let it go, and we farm it down, and they quit. In the next game, we lead Charizard into Lickitung. And they swap out immediately into a Galarian Slowbro. The lead was actually a pretty neutral lead, so they might have a better response to Charizard in the back, playing it this way. And the play here is to just go up to 2 Body Slams. This is a good matchup for Lickitung. And then throw the second, but then I get a stutter lag or something, and it ends up being a CMP, which I lose, meaning I have to let the Lickitung go, because otherwise I would just be in a terrible position. And I bring in Charizard, and they bring in Alomomola. Yikes. It is so terrible that I lost switch here. But Medicham might be able to do some magic. Because Medicham with Pop as a closer, with 2 shields, yeah, this might be possible. Let's see. Lickitung throws the first Body Slam. They're overfarming quite a lot, I'm noticing. Throw another Pop. They shield, which caught me off guard, really. But here, I know that they're not too far from 2 moves, but I think I'm able to counter it down before they get there. And I am, just about. And I come out with a lot of energy and a really ramped up Medicham. Throw another Power Punch, they no-shield it. And I go for another one, and just immediately, because at this point they pretty much have to shield. And these counters are really doing a lot. I get to another pop. Is this enough to take it out? It has a lot of energy. I don't want to see it on my Charizard. It's not enough. It has a move. Is it a Hydro Pump? I think it's just a Psychic, but is that enough? Almost. Is a Waterfall enough? Can I take it out? Oh my god, Charizard lives with 1 HP and wins the game against the Alomomola. Whoo! Next game, we lead into another Lickitung. I know that if I go straight Blast Burn, the Lickitung is just about gonna outpace me to 2 moves. So what I usually try to do is, I go for the Blast Burn because I really don't want them to no-shield the bait. And then just before I get to my second Blast Burn, I try to catch the Body Slam on my Lickitung. They do shield the Blast Burn, but yeah, I catch a Body Slam on the Lickitung. Because they threw in good timing, they still have a bit of energy on the Lickitung, which is good to know. And they bring in Medicham. I throw a Body Slam. They have to throw to take me out. I'm considering shielding, because I think they're gonna Psychic. But yeah, end up not doing so, and they take me out. I don't want to bring in Charizard, have them shield a move, and then they farm me down. So I bring in Medicham, with the idea that maybe I can like CMP sack, but my switch timer doesn't come up. So now I have to shield, and luckily it's a Psychic, so they're dry. They bring in Lickitung. Like, wow, on a loaded Medicham. Throw a pop, and instead of throwing my pop here, I know it's not gonna KO, so I'm just gonna shield this move and farm it all the way down instead. Come out with a ton of energy on a power up punched Medicham. And in the back they have Charizard. Yikes. This is bad. But I have a lot of energy. They shield the Psychic, and I go for the 1-turn wait here, even though their switch timer is up. This is so bad. It's though the switch timer is not up, and then I throw the Psychic. This is such a big misplay. And they swap in Medicham to catch the Psychic. So I undercharge it, bring in my Charizard to get a little bit more energy, and I get to 2 Dragon Claws. I know I'm not gonna get to the Blast Burn because I'm 1 Wing Attack away from dying after this. So I get to 2 Dragon Claws. The first one does a lot. Is this enough? Can I actually redeem myself after making a huge mistake? I cannot. It takes up my Medicham as well with 1 HP. Yikes. That was the last battle for today. I just real quick want to talk about why I think Lickitung is the best Pokemon for this meta and how you can use it the best possible way. First of all, it's a really good save swap because it's only really hard punished by Scrafty and Macago. Wigglytuff and Medicham aren't that hard counters to it, and you can overcome them with a bit of energy. Other than that, it's a really good enabler because you can use it to set up your more squishy and hard-hitting Pokemon, like a Charizard, for example, by catching a move on Lickitung, saving all the energy on your Charizard that you have in the lead, or whatever type of closer Pokemon you have. And you can use Lickitung to place the opponent's Pokemon in farm range, so you can bring in your closer to farm something down, then get some more energy and play it that way. Other than that, fun fact of the day, it takes 3 rollouts to get to the first 3 body slams, but only 2 to get to the 4th. I'm talking specifically about Miltank here. It's also really important for like something like Greedent or a Shiftry. It's something that catches me out sometimes because it looks like it takes 3 every time, but then the 4th one comes 1 before and you get caught out. So just a good thing to have in mind. And then, well, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and hope to see you next time.